This episode is proudly supported by OpenTable.
Nearly 1/3 of diners are booking same day. So they're making those decisions on the spot. And 10% are making their bookings within just a few hours. And so it's why it's so important to have booking software like OpenTable, which allows your diners to discover you. And so when restaurants are on platforms like OpenTable, they're much more likely to be discovered. We help diners to connect to restaurants. Ultimately, having technology, using technology, helps you to reattach to those diners.
Experience the power of OpenTable. For an exclusive offer, visit restaurant.opentable.com.au/DITW.
Staff, a team, we have to work like a family. We have to give respect. And that way we can get the best outcome. They are happy, the happy team, happy staff, the better outcome.
Today on Dirty Linen, we have an inspiring story of food and community, and we also have a double dose of guests. I'm really excited to be chatting today to Chef Daman Shrivastav and his daughter Diya. Daman owns India at Kew by DD's Kitchen on High Street in Melbourne's Kew, the eastern suburbs. But there is so much that Daman does. He's an advocate, a mentor, a supporter of young chefs. He works at the Box Hill Institute of TAFE as a cooking lecturer. He's the president of the International Association of Gastronomy, Chaîne de Rôtisseurs. And he's also doing a PhD at Swinburne, developing a competency model for trainee chefs. Daman, I don't know how you fit it all in, but welcome and thanks for fitting in Dirty Linen.
Thanks, Dani. Thanks for inviting me to your podcast. Great to be here.
Really great to chat to you. And, I've loved our encounters over the years at, cooking shows and charity events. You always are doing something interesting and I guess with a lot of heart and soul. Give us a sense of, what it is that drives you in the industry and how you thread all these different things that you do together.
Yeah, Danny, I think it's just start with a passion. We love the industry, been there for so long, more than 35 years, and we feel that, it's time, we're just giving back to the industry in any ways we can. So this is what drives me all the way through, even though, we run out of the time in the hours of the day, but somehow it fits in, everything in there.
I was actually surprised that you managed to fit in opening a restaurant because for, so many people that is, more than a full-time job in itself, but you have so much else going on. What was it that made you want to open India at Kew?
Well, I wanted to, a couple of things. I wanted to provide a authentic Indian cuisine in Melbourne, upmarket as well. Which was what I feel which is missing in Melbourne scene, as well as giving a platform for the young kids to come and work here as well. So in the same time, we wanted a commercial cooking for our charity, what we do. So it's just a mixture for everything, and which has been very successful in a way that, that's worked out well for us.
That's, really interesting. I mean, tell us more about, the gap that you think you're filling. Like, Indian food there's so much more diversity than there was 20 or 30 years ago. But what is it that you feel you're doing that isn't already in the market?
See, what we are doing here at the moment is people go to Indian restaurant, they just know the butter chicken and lamb rogan josh, just very key dishes which is available in the market, mostly Indian restaurant. But what I brought here, a diversity of all the states' cuisine in India, because it's very, very broad. Indian cuisine, very, very broad. Different states is just like a country. It changes the color, what they wear, what they eat, the climate, everything. So what I try to do is give a whole experience of Indian food. And based on that, I also supporting in a way that our local suppliers, using the local ingredients, all the produce in our kitchen. Yeah.
What's a dish that you're really proud of that, is a really good example of what you're talking about?
We do very good biryani here, which is basically steamed. We call it dum biryani, which is very popular here. And we have lamb shanks, which is nalli nihari, and that's very popular. And we do have a butter chicken, but that's very, very original. We do use cashew paste and honey and very real ingredients. I also use in my cuisine, sort of fire, smoke, clay pot cooking, and leave it really authentic and original. Then cutting the corners, just making sure that if it is called lamb, we use lamb, not mutton. So the quality is very important when we're cooking food. Fresh vegetables, in a sense, not using any frozen products. So I think it's all come down to the quality and consistency. What we do here.
Love it. And on the Box Hill TAFE side of things, cooking lecturer, tell us what you've seen over the years in terms of, the issues that young chefs are facing. What's looming large for them and for you at the moment?
See, the things has changed over the years. A lot of things has changed in Australia. Well, from apprenticeship to 1 year full-time course, and the competencies the students comes out with. Basically, when we had the apprenticeship model, which we still have, the apprentices, they were more competent in practical skills, whereas 1 year full-time students, they were lacking the hands-on skills. They might be more better in theoretical skills, but now we're getting a mixed bag everywhere. The motivation is lacking on the young kids who comes down, and I think it comes down to the young age motivation, young age, how they've been, how their parents thinks about it. I think is what they want their kids to be. Do they want them to be just go to university or technical colleges? Now, the competency gap is a major problem, and that's affecting the employability of the students when they get graduated for Certificate 3 commercial cookery, for example. And the employers, they are saying that, okay, we got the students who have Certificate 3 in commercial cookery, but the students are not competent. There are so many reasons behind that, because, and then here comes the free TAFE. Government is trying to fill that gap while providing the courses to community that, to do the commercial cookery. But thing is, they are coming. Daddy, the thing is, anything for free, there is no value, and that's a problem. We get the students everywhere. They're just coming to learn something. Maybe they just want to change their career. Some of them, they are serious, mature age. Some of them, they are just want to learn and feed their guests and their friends. And this is where the gap. They don't go in the industry to work.
Wow, that's so interesting. I haven't heard that perspective before. Because it seems like a great idea to make TAFE free. You just think, okay, you'll get people coming in that want to study, but I guess people, as you say, they can be in the course for their own reasons that aren't necessarily going to push the industry forward.
Correct.
Huh. That's really interesting. So, let's say I go into TAFE and I encounter you as a teacher. How do you try to inspire me? How do you try to help me see hospitality as a great option for, a real lengthy career?
I give them a very simple example in my first class. That example is just myself. And I just tell them, I started as a trainee chef, trainee cook, I must say. And at that time, in 1981, when I did my apprenticeship, first year, and that time, nobody wanted to go in the industry. And I said, I started as like yourself guys, and I traveled the world. I continued to study, and now I'm still studying. And when the people say that chefs are underpaid, I have not agree with that. I tell them, if you work hard, if you make your place, if you make your positions, it's very well paid job. But you have to be really working hard and strive to reach your goals. And then they do get inspired. A lot of students who join that industry or the courses, and they never want to be chef. They actually join the industry after the course, and they're very successful. Especially the international students, Dani. The motivation of there was a time where we were full of international students. They just wanted to come. I said not everybody, but the majority, they just wanted to come and stay here for PR. But I used to tell them, listen, you came here to this country, right? And you spent so much of money, your parents spent so much of money to do this course. Why not you learn the skills? It will be helpful. Instead of going washing cars and picking fruits in some way. And they listened. And they are really good chefs in the industry now. A lot of them. So it's just like, as you said, inspiring, telling the story, motivating them, telling them how good the industry is. It's amazing. And everybody says it's a tough industry. Tough industry is what? The medical is tough industry. Doctors and nurses are works 24 hours a day, not only chefs. So it's just misconceptions. Only the chefs works hard. Okay, we work hard. Chefs work hard. That's fine. Hospitality. But there are some other industry there. They work harder, and they have people's life in their hand. So how about them? So I just give them the example that's thought. It's a hard industry, there's no weekends, and I say no, but if you plan well, and if you are in the right areas, you can plan your work-life balance. And so they understand. And I also tell them, it's not what you see in master chefs or, MK, all those things. There's nothing wrong with them. We have a lot of good ideas, but it's not that easy too. You have to make your space. You have to learn, and everything hard before it's easy anyway. So it's a skills, and skills can be learned as long as you have a good attitude to learn.
And of course, I mean, a lot of chefs would say, okay, I've learned, I want to learn the skills, but then when I go out into the industry, I'm not always treated with respect. It's definitely still an issue in the industry, unfortunately. I mean, what do you do at India at Q that it ensures that people are learning, that they're nurtured, that, sure, it might be hard and the hours are what the hours are, but what can you do to make it a positive and rewarding experience?
In my place, it's such a beautiful place. Even everybody look forward to come here. See, in my place, nobody allowed to work hungry. When the moment they come in, they have to get fed. They have to eat first. That's the first thing. I try to hire the young kids, year 11, year 12. We are not trained. They get their school bags. They put in a changing room, come down, eat, change, and they work. That's the first thing. They have to be comfortable. Like yesterday, last night things, we had two of our staff's birthday, right? And I have a table sitting there. We thought we'd celebrate their birthday at 5 o'clock, like when there's quiet time. And we had two tables sitting there. I went there personally. I said, excuse me, I have two of my staff birthday. We are giving a surprise birthday. We're cutting a surprise birthday cake. Would you mind? They say, absolutely not. So they came, we had their cakes ready outside, their gifts ready. They came out in dining room. We played a song and we cut the cake. So I think respect That's a staff, a team. We have to work like a family. We have to give respect, and that way we can get the best outcome. They are happy. The happy team, happy staff, and the better outcome. They work from the heart. As you know, we are in an industry. If the angry chef and the happy chef, there's two different product comes out. No matter whatever the quality of food is and whatever they use for the ingredients. I think the mood is very, very important when we're cooking food.
Daman, tell us about the PhD. What's your thesis?
Well, my PhD thesis is the biggest problem we have at the moment, Dani. My thesis topic is I'm having a competency model. So basically a training competency model for their employability. That there's a gap in our competency. That's in simple language. When the student comes out, the employer says is not fully competent, because now that gap is not just a problem of the students. There's a curriculum. There's a problem in the industry. For example, if the students comes out from the TAFE college and end up in a pizza restaurants, the pizza owner just one person to know about the pizza, or the sushi, for example, or the bread shop. They want complete product. Where the training organization, they do not produce a complete product. They give a bits of everything. The one size fit all kind of things. So this is my research area at the moment, and hopefully I'll be finishing in this year. A lot of things comes out. I went to Europe and interviewed all the deans of the college, the entrepreneur, the Michelin-star chefs. Then I compared with our Australian chefs and industries and training colleges, TAFE colleges. So and this is what has come out, our training package, what we follow at the TAFE system at the moment. That's in my research, my recommendation is a bit outdated. We have to look at the new theoretical framework, which I'm suggesting in my research, because a lot of things has been changed, especially after COVID, and especially the mental health is not covered in our curriculum. So there are a lot of other recommendations. There was one of the major areas there. The students are not prepared when they go in industry, how to deal with the pressure, mental pressure. So this is one of the things that's come out, but there are many more recommendations are there in my thesis. Hopefully it will be out by September. So
Sounds so interesting and so rich. And of course, there are so many different aspects to having a successful career with longevity in the industry. And of course, that sort of being mentally equipped is so important. You make me sort of remember a couple of recent guests. One of them is Jimmy Wang from Akami Group, who's opened his own educational institution, Oakleaf, partly because he feels that the chefs that are coming through aren't trained in Asian cuisine sufficiently. So it's he can teach all kinds of cooking, but definitely to have that competency in Asian cuisine. And the other person that you make me think of is Claire Fay from Vue de Monde, who's a senior sous chef there, and she spoke about the Dutch system that she went through, Dutch secondary school, where they're able to specialise quite early on in a career choice, and she trained in hospitality, including a weekly restaurant right through high school. And you just think, just to have that experience at a young age and to slowly build competency in all these different areas, it's just so different to what happens in Australia.
Correct. Yes.
So Daman, I really want to talk about Dee Dee's kitchen, and I know that Dia, your daughter, is there. Should we get Dia on to explain to us what it's all about?
Sure. I'll hand over to Dia.
Hello.
Diya, hello. Thank you so much for coming to have a chat with us. Can you please, first of all, just tell us a bit about yourself? How old are you? And
my name's Diya Shrivastav, and I'm 10 years old, turning 11, and I'm in year 5.
Amazing. And tell us about Dee Dee's Kitchen.
So Dee Dee's Kitchen started when we started remote learning, home learning at home. And after I finished my home learning, I got bored. So then I asked Dad, what should we do? So we started some cooking, and then we decided to do some videos and called it Dee Dee's Kitchen for Dad and daughter Daman and Diya. And then we made the food and gave it to the international students and the homeless people, and then started giving it to them, and then started going to places and giving it to them.
Really incredible. And I remember, when we were in lockdown, seeing you guys do this amazing work. Tell us about, the scale of this program, Diya, because it wasn't just, like a couple of people making one pot of curry, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of people working together as a team, doing it together to give it to people so they could have things to eat, not only one thing.
Yeah, amazing. So tell me some of the things that you learnt while you were doing it.
The value of sharing, and also learning how to cook, because I never knew how to cook. So that time, then I started liking cooking.
Have you got something that you love cooking the most, like a favourite dish?
Yeah, in dessert, I like pavlova, and in savoury, I like lasagna.
What a good menu right there. So Diya, is Dee Dee's Kitchen still operating?
Yeah, we have videos on YouTube, what's named Dee Dee's Cooking Show, and the restaurant's called India Q by Dee Dee's Kitchen. And
what's the charity operation at the moment? Are you still making food for people in need?
Yeah, so every second Sunday we go to Collingwood Neighbourhood House and set up food, packed up food, some groceries, and we give it to people that come over and get some groceries.
Yeah, really incredible. I mean, you said it's helped you understand the value of sharing. Does it make you want to do things? Does it make you think about the future in a different way?
Yeah. Like becoming a chef when I grow up, and helping people, giving people food who's in need and needs food, so they don't live without food, and we give them food so they live longer.
Yeah, so amazing. I think, the pandemic and all the lockdowns were overall not good, but there was some really amazing things that came out of it, including Dee Dee's Kitchen. So, yeah, I'm really impressed with the work that you continue to do, Diya. Do you want to put your dad back on?
Yes, Dani, I'm here.
Great. So, Daman, Diya is obviously a very special person. Tell us what it's been like for you to do this together.
Well, it's so important for us, and I think we feel very blessed. We started just 2.5 of us from the home in 2019, and we started feeding the international students, going into colleges who were, they were locked in, putting the food out, and it's grown so much. Now we run 3 programs, one in Yarra City Councils, City of Whittlesea and City of Burundara, feed about, let's say, 5 to 1,000 families per fortnight. And the good thing in said that they brought the community together, the community in need, even the community who helped. And that was fantastic to see. Like during the COVID, everybody was struggling, whole community, even the people who are donating food, they were struggling, but they got together and we helped one another. And that still continues. There is so much of need now. Interest rates is going up. All the things are going up. people are struggling. A lot of people are struggling silently because of their pride. They don't speak out. They are, but we approach people. We silently help the families who don't want to be known, who don't want to come and stand in queue, for example. We help those families as well. Life changes, and and COVID is the biggest example, live example of all of us. Anything can change in any moment. We have to understand. And as Didi's Kitchen, we help the community, but more than that, we help ourselves. Like giving or sharing is makes us calm, makes us feel happy, makes all our volunteers feel happy because they are sharing and they're giving. Who comes to our charity and hand over the food and pack and clean up? They just come for one reason. They're actually helping themselves. They said, we feel so good, we feel happy when we share things. So I think that's a beautiful thing. And same thing we do. We apply in our India at Q, because this restaurant, one of the reason I also bought it, because I needed the commercial kitchen for my charity. And because we have the kitchen in Collingwood neighborhood house, that's electrical stoves, and the quantity of food we were cooking, that were not enough. And that's another reason I bought this restaurant. So I can cook for the community on weekends. For example, whole Friday and Saturday we do all the bulk cooking, packing in this kitchen. And then we take that, we store the food. We have a big cool rooms here. So that's made it very easy while we're running the commercial operation here. And that's also makes us feel, our staff feel, who are working for India at Q by Didi's Kitchen, that they are not just working to earn money, they are actually working to serve the community as well. And that's a great feeling when they're cooking and they're packing food as well while they're serving. And at the same time, they're serving the high quality food at this restaurant.
Daman, I can see it's very clear, obviously, that Dia is growing up with these incredible values. Was there someone in your early life, was there an experience or or ethics that took you down this path of giving and sharing and community?
Yes, in my career, I worked, there was a time in 1989, I worked in Baghdad, Iraq. I was the executive chef of one of the hotels in Baghdad, and that Gulf War broke out, if you remember, when Saddam Hussein attacked Kuwait and America attacked Iraq, and I was in there. And I have seen thousands and thousands of families, women and children burned to death with the crude missiles that time. I used to take food from the hotel, unused food, and help those families who were hiding underground while all the men were fighting on the border. And that was a turning point for me. Seeing that, the people who are eating caviar and foie gras and crayfish with a gold leaf, and the same people were eating from the bin. So I started from there, helping people. Then I moved to Jordan after the war. And Jordan, I was helping them. My residence was just a stopover point for all the families who were fleeing to different countries through Amman, Jordan. And everybody know, okay, if you're going to Amman, Daman is there, stay over, and then they go to other countries. Yes, during that time in Baghdad, I worked with Mother Teresa as well. So I was fortunate enough to, she came down to open few churches which were bombed that time. And working with her for a couple of days, cleaning the church and, doing all that also inspired me to do this humanity work, what I was doing. I was homeless at one time when my marriage break up, so I slept in a park couple of days. So that also a turning point for me to feel how it's like when you sleep without roof. So a few things happen in my life. So since last 20 years, actually, I used to cook pot of food and go under the bridge near the Sea Life now, aquarium. That's a place where all the homeless come in there. I used to feed every Sunday under the bridge. So yeah, there's a few incidents happens in life. I grew up in a middle class family with the four kids, 4 boys. You know, my father used to do 2-3 jobs to feed us in India, to give us a good education and a feed. So every evening, all four brothers and mom, we used to wait for the sound of my dad's bike that he's coming. He might bring some food. So food is so important, and luckily I was fortunate enough to get into this career where I have access to the food. I can cook food, I can serve food, whether I'm being paid for that or whether I don't get paid for that. So this is what I'm doing at the moment. I'm running a business which is India at Q, where I get paid for my work, but the food is there. I have a charity where I don't get paid for it, but there's a food. Food is so important. We cannot eat dollars and pounds every night. At the end, we have to eat food, no matter how rich, how poor people is. And that's why we say food is basic human right. Everybody should have access to the food, without doubt.
Wow, Daman, so inspiring and beautiful. And I'm sure that, the people that you create food for, that you're giving away, I'm sure it's made with the same quality, love and care as the food in your more upmarket restaurant. And I think the respect in that, I'm sure that's transmitted along with the warmth and the beautiful flavour.
Absolutely.
So, Daman, if I come to your restaurant, which I plan to do, what will you feed me?
I will feed you, off the menu, on the menu, and feed you with a lot of love. So that's the thing, We create a very humble environment here. It's upmarket, but all the staff, they are so friendly. The chefs comes out and serve. It's just so relaxed, and the people just come here. We don't have a second seating or third seating. We don't push the people out. We just come down, relax, sit back and relax, We'll take care of it. So this is our, philosophy. And they should go back with a big smile and say, yes, that's a place, We had a good food. The moment we entered, we were respected. I think that's very important. We were respected all the time. And we have one small item, or we had a whole banquet. Doesn't matter. You are our guest. You came to our house. We look after you. And this is the way we work. And
love on the menu.
Yes.
Beautiful. Daman and Diya, thank you so much for sharing with us today. It's been an absolute honour to learn more about your story and the important work that you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dani, and thank you so much.
This is Dirty Linen, and I'm Dani Valent. We air the issues that the hospitality industry finds hard to talk about, hearing from different people with unique perspectives. We want to hear from you as well. If you have something that needs to be said about a topic, get in touch so we can include your perspective. Contact us at dirtylinenat.deepintheweeds.com.au or hit us up on Insta at Dirty Linen Podcast. We can't wait to hear from you.
This